My pleasure. As we begin this lesson, to understand when those that will oppress us, what will occur, that we will be victorious. That's very important. Because the worst thing you want to know is that you're going to be a loser when you're really a winner. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28.
What's the topic for today?
The topic for today, Deuteronomy chapter 28. I want to show you our circumstances that is present. He says,
What verse is it starting?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. 28, verse 29. It says,
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
so Yahweh God has told you that the circumstances with you would be of such that you will be oppressed and that no man will save you, that you will grope as the blind grope at darkness. And Yahweh God goes on to say in Jeremiah 25:14, Jeremiah 25:14. Jeremiah 25:14. He says, For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. So all nations that will serve themselves of us, Yahweh God will recompense upon them according to what they have done to us. That's why he said, for many nations, and we've gone, and great kings shall serve themselves of them also. And he says, and I will recompense them according to their deeds. So we can see that when we go on to Isaiah 47, Isaiah 47, Isaiah 47, verse 6. 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance, and gave them into thy hands, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient have thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Let's go to Joel 3:7. Joel. We can see that there was no mercy given to us. Joel chapter 3, verse 7. Joel. It says, Behold, I will raise them out of the place whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own heads. So those that have engaged in our demise in unrighteousness, Yahweh said, He will what? Recompense them according to their deeds and according to what they have done against us. When we go to Jeremiah 30:20, Jeremiah 30, it says, Go ahead.
Their children also shall be as
Aforetime,
aforetime in their
congregation
congregation
shall be
be
established.
before me, and I will
Punish,
punish all that
oppress them.
oppress
So Yahweh God has said to you, though these circumstances of oppression, he says, their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30. I want you to know they're going to get by, but they're not going to get away. I want you to set your heart on keeping the commandments of Yahweh. It says, I would have fainted if I didn't believe.
What verse?
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. I would have fainted if I had not believed to see the salvation.
It's not 7. It's not
Yes,
7.
that's it.
Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30,
Chapter 30, verse.
7.
And the
Lord.
Yeah,
And
And the Lord thy God will put
Yeah.
all these, right, that's it.
yeah.
And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Yes. See, Yahweh God is going to recompense according to all that has done. And as you see the circumstances take place upon your enemies, you ain't going to be able to help them. Because these curses that will come, he already told you, he says, even among your own people that hate you, Yahweh is going to punish them. Because Yahweh says, upon thy enemies, with an S, and upon them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Those that lurk in the secret places of the village there, they privately sit to murder the poor and the innocent. That's right. They privately do it. They set a precedence. This is why Obama will be a great president, but the precedence of how America will treat you is already in place.
That's right.
He can't change that.
No, he can't.
But everybody is going to get a piece of him. In other words, he ain't going to steal no money, and he's going to do the very best he can. That's all. Everybody else done stepped on everybody, on every vertebrae. He's going to do the best. That man, when you see the things that he put in place not be facilitated, is because they're not going to what? Participate.
Exactly.
That's all that's going to happen. Because he's going to put the right thing in place.
Exceed already.
And they're going to what? Sabotage.
All
Doing it already.
But see, the point is that he is so hateful, he'll kick over the table and make sure nobody have it because he's not at the front of the table orchestrating things. But that's all right. If you didn't see that he's the devil, you're going to see now. You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't see he's the devil, you're going to see it now. They don't have to work with the man because this ain't my house. This is their house. This ain't my house. I'm a visitor by force. So the point is that when the rich man's house is burning down, he sits there and cries. I'm so poor, when the house starts burning, I just leave as a shack.
That's right.
If it's cold out, I go get some heat from it.
That's right. There you go. I want to make that clear to you that we don't have to worry about Obama. He's a man for the job. He's a great man. He don't even have to worry about the snakes. Because they mess with him, they ain't going to eat either. You understand? You can't burn my house and run through and run. You see, They can't win. This is checkmate.
That's
You
right.
help the man. Let's help him. He gonna make history whether it goes down or up. He gonna make history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your children gonna call him what? The 44th president.
That's right.
That's all right. They're gonna see his picture there, which irritates. And they're gonna try to make him more whiter as it goes on.
Yeah.
So the point is this. Look, brothers and sisters. I don't care who got in. I really don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. Because what is business as what usual? You know what I'm saying? Obama must put the right thing on the table. There's so many devils at the table. It can't do anything else but get ripped up, get deformed. You understand? Somebody's going to spill ink on it. The computer's going to go down and lose all the information. Come on. We know what's going to happen. But the point is this. It's not the stock market, it's what? It's the supermarket. See, it ain't about that. When you see that food in that supermarket, you have some trouble. You know what I'm saying? The storehouses are overflowing, my brothers and sisters. And I did a card for my son that is on Wall Street. And I wrote, it's not the stock market, it's the supermarket. And he took it to work. We laminated and he took it. And I want to tell you, your stomach, they can do all they want to do, but these people ain't worried because they got MTV, central air and heating. They getting ready to alter the color. You think these people care what they doing? Stop the food. And you're going to see some riots. You're going to see some people going to be mad. It's not about politics. The people know they're crooks. The people don't care what they do. Just feed a stomach. Make sure it's some brown rice and some beans and some cornbread and biscuits. We can do, the meat don't have, because the meat has been spoiled. They got so many chemicals in the meat. You can bypass that.
You're a vegetarian.
Man, something you better be, but they have sabotaged your food chain. That's right. Brothers and sisters, what we must pray for is our dedication to Yahweh God. We must pray because the devil is going to cast a delusion that he is the stabilization of the reality of this plane. Nah. The weather is telling the story. You may not have a winter.
That's right.
You may not have a winter. They have altered the total structure by such garbage and chemical waste. And they have saturated the very atmosphere with high intensity vibrations that they have altered things. They got electrical waves going through us, and you worked with them. And you say they had a machine, you go by here when something was offline or open.
Well, like the cable vision, yeah, they had these monitors that they, like, you go by it, like, because everything cable in the Bronx, their cable, everything is above ground. In Manhattan, it's below ground.
Interesting.
But in the Bronx, everything is above ground. So they have this little mechanism that you aim towards the wires, and you can see if the wires are bent or distorted because electrical waves are coming out of it. So that way you know which ones is, okay, there's a problem here, the signal is coming out, so that means I have to readjust that wire, clip it, and mend it back, so electrical energy is being leaked out. So it's a lot everywhere. I mean, I've been in places in the Bronx where it's wires are just all over the place, man. I mean, and it's leaking, but you don't see it, but but it's leaking. It has an effect.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I wanted to show you, the silent killer. And the point is that I just want to make you aware that Yahweh God is bringing these curses. And he says, and therefore, and when we go to Isaiah 14, starting at verse 1, Yahweh wants to make you comfortable, to let you know, past, present, and future, what is the outcome for you. And this is what you should be. This strengthens you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to Isaiah 14, starting at verse 1 to 2. For I will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. See, we're going to leave America. See, and it said, and the strangers shall be joined with them. See, Yahweh was a compassionate God. Wasn't we strangers? And he always remembered the strangers, because the nation of Israel grew up in Egypt.
That's correct.
We in Goshen, we had the best of the land. And Yahweh, he's a beautiful God. He never forgets the kindness. And he knew, and he said, what? Be compassionate to the stranger.
Talk about it.
You understand? He said, treat the stranger as yourself. That's right. And he said, when he come in your land, don't oppress him. And when we go back to our land, there will be a portion for the stranger. Because everybody don't want to come and live with us. Because we ain't going to let them bring... How can America exist with everybody's custom?
That's true.
It's possible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. I can't come to your house unless we in agreement.
That's right.
I'm going to bring pork and you don't eat it. I'm going to pray to another God and you going to pray to another God. It's conflict. You understand? You can't do that. And this is, America has invited the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And you don't think, man, they are stealing out of these banks left and right. The masterminds of computers, they're going in these banks moving trillions of dollars. But you know why they don't mind? Because they're white people. You understand? All that money that was supposed to be going to pay got lost. Nobody know what it is. A whole plane full of money.
I didn't even hear about
You don't hear nothing about it no
I
more.
didn't hear about that.
Now you got, they ain't gonna tell you still, they want you to pay more money, which we don't care because our pictures ain't on it, their pictures on it.
Exactly.
Get back to Caesar what is Caesar. It ain't your money anyway.
Exactly.
And man, you say
That's
it's their money. How can they rob you when it ain't yours?
Right.
You can't rob, you can't take yours from me when it's already yours. Keep it. It ain't, you know, the point is that he has made the circumstances unbearable when God has not made it that way.
Right.
He has put in place misery when it's not that way. He has orchestrated crime in your community. Because the best way to control adversity is to start it.
Absolutely.
You want to control it, then be the one to start it.
Ooh, stop.
Put guns in people's community and make sure the guns, put drugs.
Yeah.
And you're the mechanism to turn it off and on.
Sex.
And it
all
said,
on
oh
the
yeah,
TV.
all on it. And now I heard they're cursing on the television.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
Big time.
cursing. And your children, before they are stable and have discipline of some, they hear this language and they think it's common.
Right.
You know, well, let me start it. You know, so he says, and he said, and the stranger shall cleave, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh. This is Yahweh's land for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whom captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. See, so you're going to come out really well. But Yahweh wants you to do what? He wants you to wait.
Terry.
Yeah, though it might tarry. He said, just wait. Because it all going to fall in your favor. It says the end of Esau is what? The beginning of Jacob. So he says, let's go to the book of Obadiah. Because Yahweh God wants to send a message. Because I want to set you right to know what is going to transpire for you. Because it's important. You know, we have to realize that we're fighting a battle. We can win it. Ain't nobody stronger than Yahweh God.
That's right.
That's right. It says in the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 15, he said, for the day of Yahweh, is only one chapter. Verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathens. As they have done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So Yahweh God is going to turn the circumstances that because see, good judgment and true judgment is to give you what you have done.
That's correct.
Anything else would be unfair. Yahweh God says, thy reward shall return upon thy own head, for as you have drunk upon my holy mountains, haven't they done this? And aren't they doing that now? Because they was never supposed to go into that land. That land was supposed to be desolate and empty. They should never have entered into that place. And that was something that they did that stirred the very course of another direction called punishment. You know? So shall all the heathens drink continuously. Because why? To drink is to be drunken, and to be what? Without good judgment. It says, yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. In other words, it's going to be a great earthquake in that land. You're going to wake up one day, and they ain't going to be there. The Yahweh said it's going to be as though they never been. Because the earth is in total chaos. The earth can't. Have any of y'all lights ever been turned off in the house?
Yes, sir.
And you walk in, and it's just as quiet.
Yes, sir.
All the machinery's not running. There's so much movement that disturbs the vibration around you.
Yes.
You know, when you go out of the city, it's so peaceful because the level of noise. You are living in an area that's so polluted with so much noise that even when you sleep, your nervous system is always on point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. This is why it says when this man is destroyed, everything gonna be at peace.
Yes, sir.
Even the animals gonna be at peace. These people have gotten so bad, they're chasing the animals
Yes.
into the city.
Yes.
The animals can't find their way out. They got bears, snakes, bees, ants. They're coming into this instead of being because the populated areas. Because why would you go and disturb these things? Come on. They can't even find no food.
It's true.
And then the point is that they want to do. What you say, brother?
They don't have no deeds in that land.
That's right.
The animals ain't got no deeds.
That's right. And they yes. And I'm just saying to you, isn't it you got more seagulls
Yes.
flying around,
Yes.
swooping down, grabbing food. Yeah.
That's been happening a while.
Yeah, you got seagulls that is coming out. They're coming inland, flying over. You do not want them to doodle on you.
Oh man, no.
Because they don't drop a little bit. They drop.
And it's toxic.
Yes.
Very toxic.
So I'm saying to you, it's just so important that we understand we're being violated.
Yes.
But we have to stand in a holy place. They said this takes work. That's why he said labor to bring this into existence. Okay. In Joel, because we know that in Joel, they have done what they should not have done. And Yahweh God is displeased, but Yahweh God wants us. That's why he said, gather yourself together. Gather yourself together. It says in Joel 3:2, it says, therefore my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
We read Joel 3.
Joel 2,
Oh,
it's
2.
chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people. I'm at Joel 3, verse 2. And for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See, they was not to go in that land. They were not to touch anything there. And I don't want you to think I'm just saying this. I want to prove it to you. That land was that is a sacred land. That land was supposed to be totally left alone. But it says, and I'm going back to Obadiah, and starting at verse 12. But thou should not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou rejoice over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou should not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou should have not looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. And even in the book of Joel, he said, they took my precious things. You know, and you took that big candlesticks. It's right down in the Vatican.
Yeah.
They got all your stuff. He said that stuff should have been left there. Nobody should have gone in that land. It wasn't that you were so exclusive to where Yahweh God didn't want anybody to have you have to live in your presence. He didn't want that. What it was for them to understand. And who was in the presence of Jacob other than his brother Esau?
Yes, sir.
And it was this camaraderie that should never have occurred. And Esau should have never asked his father for a blessing.
Word.
Because his father yielded to giving him the sword.
Wow. That's deep.
Had he not asked him for one, but humbled himself, he would have came out on top.
Yeah.
But he said at the end, he said, I hate my brother for the blessing. But the blessing was in family. And this happens to this very day, that it is that when things are put in place, that other people feel that it's not for the best of them, they begin to sabotage. Do you know what the world is going to do when they understand who you are?
Ooh, baby.
Brothers and
They're
sisters,
going to be fighting each other.
do you know what's going to happen? Because they don't want you. They don't want to hear your name. Unless it's on the calling you a nigga.
That's so true.
They don't want to hear you. Brothers, do you understand when you wear a yarmulke? The first thing they want to tell you, you're a Muslim. That's why you put on things to identify yourself, because they don't want you to be a Jew. When you give your identity, when they hear that you're a Muslim, they run in the corner and start laughing. Because they know you ain't no Muslim.
Right.
They know that.
That's right.
They laugh at you. They say, well, there's one of the silly ones. We got him.
Absolutely.
But when they know that you're a Jew, you know what he knows? He know he didn't teach you.
That's the truth.
You have never heard anybody from the yeshiva, white, coming down here teaching you this.
No.
Never. Never. You have to respect the brothers from 125th Street. Our beef with them is that you muddied the water. That's all. But as far as what they were telling, they was giving you the key to unlock the handcuffs from your mind and from your body. They told a lot of people may not like them, but a lot of people heard them. But disagreement was that they were cursing at the very people.
If they supposed to be that.
That's right. Therefore, like I said, this black man in the United States of America should be the national treasure of this country. And the brother was saying that they were put in that position at a certain time because of ownership. Would you like to explain that to us? Because it's very important. We are the wealth of America.
That's right.
What George Washington Carver gave to the United States of America, he had nobody to leave it to. And they all have profited from it.
That's right.
They have made more money for what George Washington Carver, he had no children. What that man did, that's right. How many of us will walk down the street and tell our children that we're not invisible, but we're visible? And the child will say, what do you mean? He says, did you see that light that when we cross the street?
That's right.
Do you hear that? The brakes when you hear in the train? Do you hear when you hear blood bank